your flesh and blood.
And welcome to the Body of Health series here on Tell Me Your Story. I am Reverend Dr. D, and he is Dennis Henson, and it is great to have you back, Dennis, my co-host, to continue this series on the Body of Health. And what's really exciting on this particular program, Dennis, the day that this program airs on the radio, tomorrow is my mother's 92nd birthday. Talk about longevity. I think I've got some good genes.
It sounds like it. Yeah.
It's good to have you with us.
Thank you, Richard. It's a pleasure to be here as always. Today, we're going to be talking about the Dirty Dozen. So why don't you go ahead and talk about the 39 protocol?
All right. Well, this is actually the 12, the Dirty Dozen, and we are you had an article, and this article, if I'm correct, it's over there on DennisHenson.com, DennisJHenson.com, and we encourage people to go there. We'll give all of that website stuff out a little bit later, and we're going to talk a little bit here about diving into the topic, absolutely fundamental to our physical well-being, and how vital these daily routines are for achieving true health and longevity. And you have developed a highly comprehensive 39-point protocol. But today, we're zeroing in. We're focusing in, ladies and gentlemen, laser beaming in on a special list that you call the Dirty Dozen. Let's set the stage for us, if you would. What exactly are we talking about today?
The number one question that I get when I'm doing the podcast, radio programs, and so forth is, well, what are the most important ones of your 39 protocol? Well, if we're going to start today and start developing some of these habits, which habits are the best? And so I went through it very carefully and came up with the 12 habits that I think absolutely have the most impact on the recovery of people who need recovery or people who just want to increase the longevity of their life.
Well, before we get started, we need to emphasize that the information provided on this program is for educational and informational purposes only, and we are sharing research and personal insights, not providing medical advice. Always consult with your healthcare provider or physician before starting any new diet, exercise program, or supplemental regime. I have to say, when I read that, when I say that, Dennis, I don't know why, but my mind goes to my trampoline, my little rebounder device, and I think, okay, I've done the due diligence, and okay, so let's jump in here, Dennis.
Okay, well, you're
no pun
right.
intended, by the way.
You're right. People do need to check with their doctor before they start doing any of these, because some of them are a little strenuous. But our goal is to empower your listeners with really great information to improve the quality of their health and the length of their life.
Well, now, Dennis, in this week's article that I read, you really lay out the stakes. Now let's get right to the hard truth. You wrote that by taking the time to making the effort to form the following habits, that you'll be given your body the opportunity it needs to work at its full capacity and to beat back the things that are waiting to destroy your health. And I'm going to jump in with, again, that whole car analogy. I was watching one of those videos where this fella brought in a pristine looking Mustang. Oh, it's beautiful black Mustang, But he told the mechanic, all I want you to do is take care of the oil, lube, and filter. But he started going through some of the other fluids and kind of noticed, though he wasn't going to do anything about them because the customer said no, just do the oil. that that's something very important. And we've got to take care, do the basic maintenance on our bodies so that we have the longevity that we want, right?
Exactly. Yeah. This is a really important list, Richard, and I can't wait to get started talking about it.
Well, how'd you come up with this list and what motivated you to start it?
Well, 8 years ago, I went through a terrible stretch with my health. I suffered 7 strokes. They just kept coming and kept coming. And so I made it my non-negotiable goal to stop the strokes and stop the decline and totally recover. I wanted to reclaim my health and longevity. So I developed 39 habits that other people had used, that I listened to through testimonials, through other doctors. And every time I learned something that would help me live longer and become more healthy, I put it into this list of habits that I was doing. And so now my mission is to teach other people how to do this. My ultimate goal is to help people avoid going through the hardships that I experienced and to have a longer and healthier life.
Well, we're going to dive into those, but first, I'm going to mention the websites and where you can get all kinds of good information, as well as get some of the things that we'll be mentioning here on the program through a general portal, which is DennisJHenson.com. And you click on that health tab up in the upper left, right-hand corner of the screen, if you will, your browser. And it will take you to a page where you can scroll down, where you will see all kinds of great information, including that article that I was referring to earlier. There's a link to a group on Facebook called Body of Health, where you can communicate with folks who are basically wanting to do the same thing, increase the quality of their life as well as the longevity of their life. And then, of course, there's also a link to we'll call it the general store, as it were, bodyofhealth.life, where you can find a lot of the things that we mention here on the program. So it's a triple great informational site, DennisJHenson.com, and we hope that you will take advantage of that. And we also will talk more about some of the other things that are available as we continue talking here on the Body of Health series on Tell Me Your Story. Well, today it is the Dirty Dozen, and we're going to start talking about them. So, Dennis, let's get started with the first one that you have here, which is a positive mental attitude.
I think this one probably is the most important, because when I was really sick and I couldn't even stand up for more than 3 seconds, my eyesight was compromised, my thinking, I couldn't speak clearly. I made up my mind during that time that I was going to get well. I was going to look normal. I was going to feel normal, be able to think clearly, be able to do the things that I wanted to do. I have a young and beautiful wife, and we like to travel, we like to dance, we like to do different things. And I made up my mind that I was going to get back to that. And I believed that that was possible. I believed that it was going to happen. And I had a burning desire to make it happen. And because of that, I had the will to learn to do the things that pull me out of that. Now, had I not had that mental attitude, had I believed the doctors, I sincerely believe I wouldn't be here today. We wouldn't be having this conversation. So habits are funny things. Your internal mechanism, your subconscious, is like inertia. It wants to continue to do the things that you're already doing. So when you decide that, well, I'm going to form a new habit, it rejects that. So if you're listening and you think, well, I don't know about a positive mental attitude, that's not something. If that's the case, that's just your internal mechanism rejecting a change. So that means you probably need it more than anyone else.
That's right.
So you need to turn that around. Having a positive mental attitude does a lot of things. It helps you with your blood pressure. Of course, it reduces stress. It causes you to be happier. It elevates your mood, makes people like you better, and you're able to accomplish a lot more. Plus, your body can heal better because it's not fighting that negative feeling, those negative feelings all the time. So I think that's a really great start for a first habit to form.
And I will tell you that there are a lot of things that can support a positive mental attitude. I'm going to just share one of my own. And that is every morning I get up and I go make my coffee, my morning clarity. I get it all prepared and I go out on the front deck and I'm getting to the point now where I don't even I have my phone with me, but sometimes I will turn on music, sometimes I'll turn on a book. And now I'm getting to the point where, you know what? I think I just want to sit here and listen to nature. Listen to the squirrels chirping away, the crows flying overhead, and on and on and on. Just taking that in and feeling the breeze if there is one and so forth. And that really energizes me to get ready for whatever is coming the rest of the day. So I know
That's
that's
right.
probably going to be something we'll talk about as well later on.
Well, part of a positive mental attitude is gratitude. You know,
Mm.
if you're grateful for the things that you do have, that you're alive, that you can see, you can use your hands, you can drive, you're in an air-conditioned home, you have a wonderful family, the people that work with you are great. If you can build that list of things you're grateful for, that improves your attitude. And it also, when you're being grateful, you can't be bitter at the same time.
No,
So that's a great practice to have.
absolutely. Absolutely. Well, another great practice, and I know everybody has a different clock that they're working by and a circadian rhythm, kind of what we're talking about here. And that is sleep. And I know that there are all kinds of formulas and there's statistics and norms, but let's talk about how important that sleep is as far as your experience and research.
Well, sleep is the time your body heals itself. And if you don't give your body time to heal itself, then over a period of time, you're asking for trouble. Alzheimer's disease, cancer, stroke, heart attack, high blood pressure, all of those things can be a byproduct of not getting enough sleep. So I sincerely believe you should make it a high priority to at least get 7. I try to get 8 hours sleep every night. I want to give my body every chance it possibly can have to clear out all the bad stuff, to regenerate my brain cells, for all of the organs to work together properly. So I believe it's, of course, I picked the top 12 and sleep's number 2. So I think very highly of that habit. And some people may think, well, I don't have enough time. Well, I tell you what, if you don't get enough sleep, time will not matter much longer. You're going to lose a lot of time if you die, or if you end up in a hospital like I did, then all that time that you were trying to save, all of a sudden you don't have it anymore.
This is true, and that goes with just about anything that we mention here on the program that we suggest, and that is that if we don't start doing some of these and incorporating them, making them habits, then we won't be making any more habits. Uh, you know, I'm very fortunate as far as my parents are concerned, with my mother turning 92 tomorrow as we talk here. My father made it to 92 before, or almost. I should say he almost made it to 92 before he passed away. But that's a long life. I mean, I look back in history from the day he was born, the year 31 of the 20th century, until his passing. And I'm thinking of all of the incredible things he experienced, the changes that he saw, the technology, and all of that stuff, not to mention the growth of his family, the transformation of his sons and daughters. You know, so I want to have that. I mean, I'm looking back these days too on my life and thinking, wow, I've seen a lot in the short 66 years I've been here. And I can only imagine what the future holds. Now, the future also holds for us. Number three, this is very important. And of course, my analogy regarding the car, and that is fluids. And in this case, we're talking hydration, Dennis.
Well, I think it's pretty obvious that you need to drink some water. It's so obvious that it's a natural thing to do. But if you just drink when you're thirsty, you're probably not going to get enough because the longer you wait between drinking something that's hydrating, the thicker your blood gets, and the older you get, you know, your heart's a muscle that's getting older too, and if it has to work harder just because you didn't have the habit of keeping fully hydrated, you know, the first symptom of a heart attack is often death. So you don't get a second chance. The best thing to do is go ahead and form the habit. It's really an easy habit to form. You know, drink a glass of water before you, after you wake up in the morning, another glass sometime in the middle of the day, and then another one in the evening. But to become fully hydrated, it's more than drinking a glass of water. You need to combine it with electrolytes. The easiest way for me to do it is take a pinch of Celtic salt. Now, Himalayan salt will work, sea salt will also work, but Celtic salt has the most minerals. So just take a pinch of that, put it under your tongue where it'll be absorbed, drink a glass of water. That's just very simple. And it may cause you to avoid having a stroke or a heart attack. Or if nothing else, just make you healthier for a long period of time.
Well, and of course, the fluids, just like in a car, help the system to function better, that things flow through the various systems. I mean, you mentioned about the blood. If you've got thick blood, your heart's got to work harder and so forth. Whereas if your blood is thinner, all right, because you've been drinking water, then the blood flows through much faster. The heart doesn't have to work as hard, and you probably feel more energetic. Now, here's something that goes along with that. And number four is diet.
Well, it's important to eat the right things. You know, if you're continually eating things that are poisonous or bad for you, then, you know, you're asking for problems in the not too distant future. So, but, you know, what is the right things? Well, if you go to bodyofhealth.life, there's a great list of recipes and things that you can eat. One of the most important things is greens. You know, you need leafy greens. And another thing is fats, healthy fats. The things to avoid, I think the most important things to avoid are the white foods, which would be table salt that's had all the minerals stripped out. Sugar, that should be number one. You know, should totally avoid eating sugar ever. Another white food would be milk, cow's milk. Now, dairy is not altogether bad. If you take fermented dairy in moderation, that can actually be good for you because of the healthy fats that are in there, and the fermentation causes good bacteria. But, you know, it's not good enough to just say, okay, I'm going to eat a healthy diet. You need to actually research what is healthy and make sure that's in your diet. I've already done that for you. So if you want to go to bodyofhealth.live and go and read the articles about what is the best thing to eat, and you mix those in with your daily diet, you'll be surprised how good you feel, what it'll do for your skin, what it'll do for your eyesight, for your hair, for every system in your body, every organ in your body. They need the right kind of foods. And it's not just thinking, oh, well, I'm going to eat good. I want to eat the sugar. It's more than that. It's making sure that you get selenium. Well, where do you get that? Well, you need to research that because it's very important. So rather than just going on and on talking, I'm just saying, go to bodyofhealth.life. We do a radio program every week. Those programs are turned into articles, and there's a lot of research that went into those articles, and they'll answer every question that we bring up that you may have.
Absolutely. Research is very important. I mean, all of these different elements, this dirty dozen, as we like to call them, they're important. The 39 other elements we mentioned in the previous couple of programs, they're important. But the thing is, you have to do your own work. No one can do that for you on any level, whether no one can exercise for you. Okay.
That's right.
It doesn't work that way. Nobody can sleep for you. And so you need to take that in. Before we move on, let me remind you of the website, which is DennisJHenson.com. There's also the website, of course, bodyofhealth.life. And another fun one, this probably would help you with your positive mental outlook.
That's right.
And that would be going to realimpactbook.com. We'll talk about that later as we continue here on Tell Me Your Story in the Body of Health series. We are talking about the Dirty Dozen, and actually they're going to really supercharge your life if you incorporate these. And I mentioned earlier about this whole aspect of rebounding, jumping on the old trampoline. I do that, and then I get off of it, and then the cats go lay on the trampoline. I find that fascinating that they do that. But this next one, number 5, is important, and that is movement. And in this case, exercise. Got to exercise, Dennis.
Yes, and I think one of the most important exercises that you can do is walking. If you can, there's a free app on the bodyofhealth.life site that you can download. It doesn't cost anything. I don't know. They may have ads on it. I don't pay any attention to those, but I use that app every day because it tells me how many steps I've taken. So you set a goal. You say, okay, the ultimate amount of steps that you can take is 8,500 a day. If you want to live long and feel and be healthy while you're living long, if you can make a habit of taking 8,500 steps a day, then that's great. Maybe that's not comfortable for you, or maybe you're stronger than that. Maybe you want to take 10,000, or maybe you want to just do 5,000. Well, any amount's good. 5,000 is really good. 8,500 is pretty much perfect. Actually, more than that's probably not going to help much more, but maybe you will feel better by doing a few more. But I think the number one exercise is walking. But Richard and I were talking before the program about how hot it is. Here in Texas, it's about 100 degrees. Okay. So that makes it difficult to walk 8,500 steps in the hot sun at 100 degrees. So what I do is I interchange that on the days when it's raining really hard, or maybe snowing or sleeting, or there's some reason I can't go outside. Or maybe I get home or finish really late and it's too dark. But then I just get on the rebounder, and the steps counter don't know the difference. It doesn't know that you're walking or rebounding. So you can still get your steps in. And the rebounding is really, really good for you. And it's good for your lymphatic system, because that's the only way that your lymphatic fluids move is if you move. And the best way that you can move is the rebounding, because it changes the gravity.
Absolutely.
So, and then intermittent exercising with weights and doing other things, those are all really good things. But I think probably if you can just form the habit of interchangeable walking and rebounding, that's probably the most healthy and easiest thing that you can possibly do. Now, if you want your muscles to last for a long time, you need to work those muscles by doing something that's strenuous, like lifting weights or push-ups or other things.
Well, number 6, there's an old joke. I remember hearing this when I was a kid growing up because my mother had us taking certain supplements as well as feeding us good food. And that is supplements. And the old joke was, well, I take so many supplements, I rattle when I walk. Well, the one nice thing is if you get foods that have the minerals and the nutrients and so forth, that's great. But sometimes you need a little help, don't we?
Exactly. The foods that we're eating now are not the same foods that they were eating 100 years ago because there's not the same amount of minerals. The way that they're planting them, harvesting them, it's just not, you're not going to get everything that you need probably without some supplementation. And things like D3. Okay, if you walk every day, you're probably going to get the D3 that you need. But what if you don't? What if you can't get out in the sun? You miss the D3 that day. Well, you really need that. It's an important vitamin. And when you mix that with K2, it does a lot of things for your body. And you don't have to know what they all they are. Just make it a habit and your body's getting what it needs. So we have on our website K2 and D3, very inexpensive, and they're together, and you can take those. If you had a heart attack or a stroke and they came and got you in the ambulance, what do you think the first thing they're going to do? They're going to give you 50,000 units of D3. Why not just have it in your body already? So it's like, yeah. I don't want to wait for the ambulance. I want to have my body fighting those things all of the time. And some other supplements, you need omega-3s. You're probably not going to eat fish every single day. So you still need the omega-3s every single day. And CoQ10, and the list goes on. If you want to know exactly the very best supplements that you need to take, the top 5, the top 10, the top 20, just go to Body of Health and look at one of our previous articles. They're stacked up there so you can see them very easily. Click on it, make the list, say, okay, I'm going to take these 5 every single day because somebody else has done the research and I know this is the very best thing that can happen to me. That's really good advice. I hope everyone will take it.
I hope they will too. I hope they will go to to DennisJHenson.com and go to the articles on the health tab. Also go to bodyofhealth.com and pick up the various items that supplements that will support your better health.
Richard,
yes, sir.
It's bodyofhealth.life.
Did I say that again? Bodyofhealth.life, ladies and gentlemen. Ignore the .com. That's bodyofhealth.life. It's DennisJHenson.com.
That's right.
It will also take you to bodyofhealth.life. Now, these next 2, 7 and 8, actually seem to me like they sort of go together, but you got to be mindful of what you're doing. And they are fasting and then detoxing. And now I don't know that you'd necessarily want to do them together, but let's talk a little bit about these 2 and how they complement each other as well as our good health.
Well, even, throughout history, people fasted. If you read the Bible, fasting is a ritual. It's a religious ritual that people were required to do. But I think it's great because of how healthy it makes you. There's several kinds of fasting. The easiest kind is intermittent fasting, which I'm doing right now, and I really don't even realize it. It doesn't feel any difference. The only thing I'm doing is just making the window between the last meal at night and the first meal during the day longer. I make it 16, 17, 18 hours. So I have a really good lunch, a really good dinner, and then I just skip breakfast. It's that simple. You're fasting. So when my pants get too tight to button, I know that's when I need to do the intermittent fasting. And that's really true. So if my tummy's getting a little bit big, I can't button my pants, I thought, okay, time to intermittent fast. I don't even have it scheduled. It just happens like that. Now, you do need to schedule the 3-day fast. Maybe once every 3 months, you think, okay, I'm just not going to eat for 3 days and we'll give my body a rest, give it time to go into autophagy, which means eating itself, where it consumes the fats that have surrounded the bad things, bacteria, germs, the bad things in your body. Your body will surround those with fats, and the fat that you have stored has a lot of really bad stuff in it. So when you're fasting, you start burning that and getting those things out of your body. And it also does a number of other things. It's good for your brain. It's good for your ability to think. It's good for, well, every part of your body benefits from the fasting, the 3-day fast. And then maybe once a year, you'll want to do a 7-day fast, which is harder to do. Yeah, it's not easy. That one's not. And then some people, if you have a weight problem, a longer fast would be good. You're not going to starve to death. You got plenty of fuel inside your body. And then you just have maybe bone broth, maybe tea, or just water. So the easiest way to lose weight, you don't have to buy an expensive diet. You don't have to learn anything. The easiest way to lose weight is just to do a 30-day fast. It'll work. I promise it'll work. But it may not be comfortable. But it'll be healthy. So the next one was detoxing, and you mentioned that, and that should be scheduled also because there's a lot of bad things out there that want to get in your body and make you sick. If you have an animal, a pet, you say you got cats, and I've got Mr. Cooper. If you have an animal, the chances of you having parasites are extremely high, extremely. The chances of you having plastics in your body are probably 100%. If you ever drink out of a plastic bottle or a plastic glass, or plastics are throughout our diet. It's hard to avoid them. And then there's heavy metals. And think, well, how can I get heavy metals? All you have to do is get close to an interstate, take a breath. You're inhaling heavy metals. So you want to get those 3 things out of your body. And I have a specific way to detox, which is on one of our articles. I start out with a vitamin C flush. Then I start zeolite a couple of, maybe a week or so before I actually do the detox. And then we do the 3 normal things: cloves, wormwood, and black walnut hulls. And then after that, you come back and do the zeolite again. The zeolite is what is my preferred binder. There are a lot of binders. You use charcoal, diatomaceous earth. There's a lot of them, but I think the zeolite is the best. And you can read why if you want to go and look at the articles. But now this is really a powerful thing to get things out of your body. And you may think, oh, no, I don't have any. You're wrong. You do. And they get in your body through a number of different ways. Maybe you visit someone who has an animal and you don't even know it. And you sat down on the couch and all of a sudden you've got parasites that you didn't know about. So anyway, that's my ideas about the detox.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to wrap up with the final 4. Sound like a little bit like March Madness here in the middle of September. But we're going to let you know about the websites once again, and they are DennisJHenson.com. Click on the Health tab. Scroll on down. Take a look at all of the programs we've done thus far in the last 8-9 months that we've been doing this program. It's incredible. You can also get a link there to bodyofhealth.life, to where you can pick up a lot of the things that we have been talking about, that supplements. And of course, as Dennis and I usually are drinking our morning clarity coffee here as we are doing these programs. We also encourage you to click on the Facebook link to the Body of Health group. And it's a group of people, and that's going to be one of our conversation pieces here in just a couple of minutes as we continue here on the Body of Health series on Tell Me Your Story. This program is focusing on, well, what else? The 12 habits that that may extend your life. We call them the dirty dozen, as it were. And we're going to talk now two that I think, Dennis, do actually go together. And one of them is sunshine. Then there's breathing. So if you're getting some sunshine and you want to breathe, I'm going to throw one other one in there. And I know this makes it a baker's dozen of 13. And that is the grounding thing that we've talked about before. If you can go out and stand on the ground, not pavement or asphalt, but the grass and so forth in your bare feet, and do that grounding. So these kind of all work together to re-energize, to revitalize, don't they?
Exactly. Well, we already talked about walking, and you can combine the walking and the grounding and the sunlight. Um, if you can't get out and get the sunlight, it's important that you supplement that with a D3. You want to make sure you have D vitamin and plenty of it. But I saw an article yesterday that the sunlight doesn't just hit you, it goes all the way through you. And I had never heard that before. Isn't that powerful? So it doesn't just heal the skin, it heals the entire body because it doesn't stop. It goes all the way through. So I think getting enough sunlight, of course, what could be more natural than that? But getting enough sunlight is really a key. And if you haven't made a habit of doing that, if you just stay in the house all the time, watch TV, lay on the couch, never get out in the sun, you're making a big mistake for your health.
Yeah, very important. And I love going out there in the morning. The morning sunlight is wonderful. Just standing there, closing my eyes, facing the sun, and I actually will spread my arms out and just bring it on, sunshine. Let me have it. And I won't be out there long if it's going to be 80 or 90 degrees, even in the shade. But it just feels so good. And then you have that one breathing technique that we've talked about before. And I hope I get this. Is it the 521?
That's right.
521. Okay.
Okay. Before we leave the sunlight,
okay,
there's one other thing. When I first started walking, I thought I was lucky because I didn't sweat and my clothes didn't get wet. I didn't have underarm perspiration. Well, it turned out that I was wrong. That's very unhealthy. That means you got a real problem. Your skin, you're not expelling all of the bad things through the pores of your skin, which is one of the ways that your body gets rid of things that are harmful to you. So by walking every single day in the hot sun, and I did that for years, I started to sweat. And when I started to sweat, a lot of things started to improve. So that's another reason to be in the sun. Now, breathing, you're right. Most people don't use all of their lung capacity, and that's really not good. So if you want to form a habit to increase your lung capacity and get more oxygen to your body, which is what it needs to heal itself, you can do this breathing exercise, which is it's easy, super easy to do, but you may have a hard time getting through it the first time. And it's called, as Richard said, the 521. So you inhale through your nose, close your mouth, inhale through your nose for 5 counts. Now, I didn't say 5 seconds. It's 5 counts, okay? Then you hold your breath for 6. Then you exhale through your mouth and get as much out as you can for 7 counts. Then you hold your breath with all of the air out of your lungs for 8 counts, and then inhale through your nose for 9 and hold your breath for 10. Exhale for 11, hold your breath for 12, and you continue with that pattern till you reach 21. Now, when you first start, you're probably going to get somewhere around 16 and think, I'm not going to make it to 21. Well, you just need to count faster. That's a joke.
Yeah, I know.
But it's true.
Yeah.
But as time goes on, you'll be able to do more and more, and you can count slower. And it's really going to have a magnificent effect on singing or humming or just feeling good or walking further. It's going to give you more energy. It's going to make you be able to fight disease better. It's really a powerful thing.
Yeah.
Unless you make it a habit, though, you'll just maybe do it once a month. Oh, I got to do my breathing exercise. No, no, no. You got to put it in your day and do it every single day. 3 times a day would be better than one, but if you could just do it once a day, you'll be better off than 99% of the people in the world.
That's right. You're exercising your respiratory system, folks. By the way, 11 and 12, I kind of think they go together, although number 11 is oral health and 12 is a human interaction, I should say. So it would be a good thing to have good oral health for the purposes of having human interaction, but the oral health is also beneficial for your health specifically. Let's talk a little bit about those two. As we wrap things up here, by the way, we're getting close to the end.
Okay, well, your oral health is really important because the most bad bacteria in your entire body is in your mouth, specifically under your teeth. So if you have bad oral health, for some reason that those bad things are close to your brain. I almost died one time because I had an infection in one of my teeth. It went to my brain. The next thing you knew, I was on the floor. I couldn't move. Had to have an operation, urgent operation to relieve that. It's also connected with your heart. If you have inflammation in your mouth, it also goes to your heart. So a lot of deaths happen. People don't ever know it, that were related to their oral health. So what's the best thing you can do? Of course, you already know you need to brush your teeth. But water picks are really, really powerful because they get plaque out in between your teeth, and and especially I like to put hydrogen peroxide in my water pick. And then the peroxide not only knocks out the bad stuff, but it gets in under your teeth, and also gargle with it first thing every morning to kill the bacteria in your mouth. But having good oral health is really, really important for your overall health.
And it also helps when you do have human interactions because you have clean breath, a clean mouth, and people are going to want to be around you a little bit more. And having that human interaction is good for your health as well.
It is. Places where people live the longest in the world, they interact with other people. That's one of the traits. They have quilting clubs, gardening clubs. They play bridge. They do things together with other people of a similar age. And so just being a hermit, being by yourself is not healthy. It's healthy to have friends, have other work with people where you're with other employees, interact with people, and also interacting with pets is good too. So that's a little extra. And I really love my dog. He walks with me everywhere we go, and that I know it makes me healthier to have a pet.
Absolutely. Well, and of course, we've already talked about the whole pet thing and parasites and detoxing. So just keep that in mind as well. And I'll tell you, this really sounds like an excellent strategy for overall health and longevity. And for our listeners and viewers who want to get all of the details on the protocol, they can go to your website, bodyofhealth.life, to read the full article. And you've also put together a special unique bundle of supplements that we mentioned earlier, right?
Absolutely. When you go to bodyofhealth.life, you're going to see this radio program turned into an article. So if you didn't get everything, didn't write it, it'll be written out for you. And we mentioned some supplements that you need, D3, K2, other things. And you can purchase those there if you choose to. If you do choose, we're going to give you a free gift and a discount by just putting in the discount code radio. You get a big 20% discount, and there's always specials going on. So I hope you'll visit there. I hope that you'll read the articles, and that the things that you learn will make you healthier and happier and make you live longer.
Well, fantastic. Dennis, this has been great. Bodyofhealth.life one more time there for folks. And this has been some incredible information. And thanks so much for laying out this blueprint for helping us to live a longer and healthier life.
Well, thank you for having me, Richard. It's lots of fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please join us again for our next edition of the Body of Health series here on Tell Me Your Story, and until our next broadcast, podcast, videocast. Love to all. Jeanette, I'm still listening. Dad, continue to be happy because I am. Smokey, I'll see you on the other side. Mike, thanks for being in my life and letting me be in yours. To my brother Michael, welcome to fatherhood. And to my dear friend Zorro, aho, aho.